I have Suzi from the Fateless team. You may have seen her in some YouTube channels. You may see her on the Discord. So go ahead, Suzi, and talk about yourself, how you found Fateless, kind of what you do for the company, stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm the community manager for Fateless. I've been working there for a year and a half now almost. Oh my goodness, time is flying. And it's been really fun. Like most of us, I met the Fateless team or knew of Fateless and Godforge because of Simon, because of Hell Hades. I played Raid for over 4 years back in the day, and quit a few years ago, and probably 2 years ago. But I kept an eye on what was going on and followed the Fateless journey. And they reached out to me, asking if I'd be interested in being community manager, and it felt so perfect for me. I've been a content creator since like COVID, like a lot of people started with COVID, and I kind of transitioned to other games and stuff, but I still was in the scene, and I was always a really big part in other content creator programs. People would always call me the CM, or like, you should be the CM instead of these people, or like I'd always get funny jokes. So it felt so perfect when they offered that position to me. I'm very aware of other content creator programs and how content creators are going to react to things. So specifically dealing with content creators, I think is kind of my specialty and what I look forward to most going forward. But it's been fun. Yeah, I still do content creation. I'm suffering still from a Bell's palsy, so that's been rough to deal with a facial paralysis when my face is my job, but still doing all the things and moving forward the best I can.
Yeah, so you do play gacha games. I remember your big game is Water of Realms, correct? Is that the one you're currently playing?
Yeah.
Is that okay?
That's the main thing I cover now. I do play Reverse 1999 as well.
Okay. Nice. Okay, so I called you today to ask you a really big question, right? And I'm glad you decided to tackle it, right? So a lot of us have played the alpha, right? And playing the alpha, the game is fun. We found the fun. Simon did a recap video, and I 100% agree with the video, right? But how do you keep hungry fans, or if you want to do like a content creator spin on it, you can do that as well, or both sides. But how do you keep them happy during this crunch time, right? Because, I'm sure Fateless is very busy trying to put the bells and whistles on the game and make it look really fun. And I know the biggest question asked in the Discord is, when is Godforge happening? And, I'm sure you have to give them the answer of like, it could be 2 to 4 months from now, right? It could be early February. It could be the end of March, right? So how do you handle that, right? Like, this is probably one of the most difficult times, for your job.
Everything's quiet, yeah.
Yeah. So go ahead and just speak on that, whatever you want to, just have fun with the topic.
Well, I think there's just like creating the game itself, coming out with the game, and dealing with everything before that is a balance. So obviously we want to keep people engaged and show teasers and keep the interest there. But there's also a reality of people are not going to be happy, and we have to accept that fact. People are going to walk away. They're going to close the Discord. They're not going to come back until they hear news. They're going to ignore the YouTube videos. It's just going to happen at this point because it is an in-between phase. So I think part of that is managing expectations. Like, we can't expect to have as many conversations going on like we did in alpha when there's gameplay. It's just not going to happen. It's realistic. As a player of these games, we all know if you're in between something or you're waiting for something, your interest dies down. So really, it's just trying to keep the engagement up for players that are around, that are looking and hanging on to every little bit of information they can, and trying to continue to take everyone along for the journey, but also managing expectations of the reality that things are slowing out, and that's okay. But we have a lot of things in the works, and that's part of the problem or solution, I guess, as well. So, like we've talked a little bit, like Simon and Sham and some collabs tease like, oh, there's a mini game coming. Well, we're waiting on that, right? That's one of those like, when's the mini game coming? Something that we expected to have happen a lot sooner, just like a lot of other stages with game development. But other ththings happened and got more complicated, so it's not quite ready yet, but hashtag soon.
Hashtag soon. Yeah, I mean, I definitely feel the same thing too. Is like, as a content creator in this, I'm trying to upload like 2 videos a week to get the feel of it, and it's just like, how do you make content, for I don't want to just make content that just covers the Tuesday video, right? I want to make content that is unique and whatever too. And it's just like it is dry right now, and that's okay, right? I've come to terms with that, right? I've kind of sat down and be like, yeah, God Forge isn't out yet, huh? Right. So I am waiting for the mini
Yeah.
game as well. That's gonna be fun. There was something I wanted to ask you on something you said. Let me think about that here.
Well, I'll elaborate briefly on
Sure.
the moment of content creators too. Like, okay, and I will say, obviously, I'm here if Suzi from Fateless. I am a content creator, so I will be sharing some perspectives just as my own personal thoughts that might if I could talk, might not necessarily reflect Fateless
Yeah.
specifically. Disclaimer, I guess, of course, and yeah, content creation. I don't think it's expected to make as many videos, and I think that's okay too. Luckily, we're not in the space of if your channel stops posting a week or two, your channel's not dead. It's YouTube's different now, so that's okay too. And I think it's really hard for content creators to post a lot when there is no gameplay. Some people only do gameplay content. So what are they doing? They're not posting, and that's just the reality as well. And I think we try to give some teasers with things like the leaks packages, but I think we're kind of waiting to like now with the mini game. But I don't know, we'll see. But trying to help keep the content creators happy as well is definitely a challenge.
Yeah, I would say too that, from my understanding, YouTube has changed, right? That it's looking at different metrics besides views and
Mhm.
and all this other stuff as well. And I know content creators, there's some that blew up during the alpha, right? And then when we had the
Mhm.
gameplay, they just kind of flourished, right? And so that's what I'm hoping for too. It's just like, yeah, I'm sitting on, less than 100 subscribers, but the subscribers I do have, they're very engaged people. I'm building that community and stuff. So if you're a content creator, just say, just focus on, just practicing the content, practicing the craft, right? That's what I'm doing right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, it seems like you're kind of accepted that, hey, this is a time of uh, I don't want to say a dead time, 'cause it's not. I'm sure Fateless is working very hard on the game, right? But at this point, it is a different kind of it's a waiting, right? It's a waiting room. I think that
Yeah.
the Discord says it best, right? And you do a great job in the Discord. Every morning I wake up and I'm just like, oh yeah, there's like 100 messages I need to catch up on, because people are just saying good morning to each other and sharing any tidbit of news or whatever. So it's fun. So I think my question for you now is, as a community-centered company, how does your position look different than, say, at another company during this time, right? Of waiting for the release date.
I think we're probably more engaged than most, obviously, I guess would be the big front. Uh, the reality of Fateless has always been transparency and taking the community along for the journey. So most companies would be radio silent right now. You would have got the alpha, you hear nothing. You might hear like once a week, once a month, a post about, oh, this character, here's a character teaser or something. But when it comes to social media and the Discord community, I just think we are still daily active. We are here 100%. Where every other game I followed, after every beta, after every testing period, it's like they don't exist. It's like they stop talking. They just disappear. So I think keeping the community, yeah, going, whether it just be saying hello in the morning or updating a post here and there when we can, is the challenge, but also the fun. They just keeping more involved than the average company. We don't want to be the average company, right? Like we want to be a little bit more community focused, and whether that be just a casual conversation or the suggestions and talking about future game development stuff too. It's still a little bit of everything, and keeping a pulse on community sentiment when they're reacting to our YouTube videos is important. It's still, I feel like we try to still treat things as if the game is out and we still care what people are saying. We still, some things are like feature locked and it's like it's not going to change, at least for now. But it doesn't mean we don't still want to know how people are reacting to things. And it has affected a lot of decisions, whether it be naming something in the game to something else because someone has a good idea, or like those little things really do matter. And it's been fun to keep taking people along for the journey, even if it is, a slow walk right now, not a run, not a big hype.
Yeah,
For the
and
moment.
I think we had Aaron on Ragewood's channel last time, right? And he said a great thing of like, you guys are listening to the community, right? And so like why it may not affect the game's release now, because we are at content lock and feature lock and all that stuff is happening, right? So it's hard to change what the game at launch will look like. And Aaron said the same thing. Hey, the chapter 1 and 2 of the story has been kind of hammered out, right? It's not really changing.
Yeah.
But the community feedback is going to change the future of the game, right? And he said very much too, I don't know if he said in the podcast or privately, but he's like, the community influences his story. So when you're talking in the Lord in the Lord chat and you're talking, you know, I'm making videos, right? You know, that is you guys are taking that feedback, right? You guys aren't just ignoring it. I mean, there's a whole suggestions channel that I'm sure is read daily and discussed and whatnot. So
what about you though then? So in any other game you're playing or following, is the fact that you can tell your voice matters, your opinion matters more? Does that help keep you more involved? Does it really feel like it more personal? Does it make a difference to you?
So I play a lot of single player games, right? I'm not big on the gacha space. I played Raid and I found Hell Hades, and that's how I found Godforge. But like if you ask me what I'm playing on my day to day, I'm playing like Kerbal Space Program, right? And I'm playing like Silk Song. Yeah, and so I'm playing these like really massive single player experiences. And yeah, I mean, those are great examples because Silk Song, like Team Cherry went radio silent for 5 years. Like they had the release date of, I think it was 2019, and they released in 2025. With absolutely
never said anything.
never very, very minimal. I think in those 6 years or 5 years or whatever it was like 5 official posts or something, and it was all like,
wow,
we're working on it. But then they released the game, you know, their release trailer was like 2 or 3 weeks, right? It was like, oh, we're releasing the game now, get ready for it. And then with Kerbal Space Program 2, with Kerbal Space Program, which is a space simulation game that uses real life physics, NASA trains on it sometimes. They test ideas before they move it to the actual drawing board because it's so realistic. You know, so you make rockets and stuff. There was a second one that came out and it failed, right? And they still have it up. It's not in development, or if the development's there, it's very, very slow. And they're still expecting $50 for the game, right? And it's this husk of an early access that is not even close to content complete. It is, I don't think there's barely a gameplay loop. Like, it is pretty bad, and they haven't said anything. They're just like, oh yeah, but like, the community knows, hey, don't buy this game. Like, if you don't want to play this shell, don't buy it, right? And so yeah,
we're still gonna get people that don't know any better.
Yeah, and I mean it's review bombed as well, right? I wouldn't say review bombed, but negatively reviewed, because it is, you know, hey, why am I paying $50 for this shell of a game? You know, that's not even being developed. You're not selling even a promise anymore. So yeah, other companies that I interact with, because I played these 2 games just yesterday, right? They are not, I don't get to, I've never even, you know, talked to the developers or had feedback. When on Simon, I've had Simon even comment on a few of my videos, right? And I've, you know, so it's crazy, right? Like with the Fateless Discord, when I say something, before Fateless, I was just a face in a crowd, right? And now it's like, oh, here's a guy here's one of our content creators. Here's a guy who won the alpha. You know, they don't like reach out to me. I don't like talk to a Fateless member every day, but you know, when I have a point, they at least say, hey, that's a good point, right? And that's nice to know. That's like, you know, I'm not a face of the crowd, right? I'm part of the community, right? And I get to reach out as that. So yeah.
It's part of the blessing and a curse, right? We take people along for the journey, and we want to be transparent, but some of that comes with having to guess, and those guesses might be wrong. When is this coming out? We think this, but nope, a few months later, because that's the nature of development, right? It's like everything always seems to take longer than it is planned. There's always something that's delayed, or there's always something that. So while there's like definitely some criticism that could be had, to be fair, and I felt it too, and I think I've even said it, like, maybe we should not be saying a date ever. Just be like, it's 2026, whenever, 2025, whenever. But Simon's like, no, I wouldn't have it any other way. I wouldn't take it back. Like, I want to be transparent. And if this is what's planned, this is what's planned. But people just have to hopefully be a little bit more understanding of the fact that subject to change is a big star. It's a big asterisk there.
Yeah, you can't have this community transparency without having the transparency of, hey, the date is not set in stone, right? We don't know if it's February 1st.
Yeah, and that's why we don't.
Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Yep, early access, we don't have a date. Like we sure, is there one on the calendar that's like this is the what everyone is aiming for? Yeah, but we're not going to say that until we know we can hit it.
Yeah.
And so like we don't want to put that out there until it's like this is going to happen. Not this should happen.
Yeah, and I did dabble with game dev a little bit when I was like in college and stuff, and like I think to myself, oh yeah, I can whip up a game in like 2 weeks to a month, right? A small prototype, and then you hit the 2 weeks to a month mark, and you've just implemented like movement, and you're like, oh, that's not close. Yeah.
That's the mini game. The mini game is a one-man show. Spoiler alert. It's a one-man show. There's one guy developing the mini game, but that's also where some issues came in because there were things where it's like he can't just do that one thing himself. He needs help for certain aspects of it. While he can physically make the game happen himself, there are definitely things like tying in accounts and other complications that take longer than expected. So it's a good idea, and the guy's a badass. He's wonderful. He's doing such a good job, but it definitely slowed things down. And I think it's really fun to have such a unique little thing coming, and we can't wait to share it with everyone. We hope everyone has a ton of fun. But we're just like waiting. Like, is it ready yet? Is it ready yet? And it's like, no, it's not, unfortunately. But it's fine. It'll be worth it, hopefully, when it comes out.
Yeah, I mean, the devs at Fateless are incredible, because I remember when the alpha server had an issue, and it was like the dead of night. There was just, I think it was Igor.
They're still there.
Igor, right?
Yeah, Igor's awesome.
Yeah, and so I remember because Chloe was in the Fateless Discord a lot. Now that's the Godforge Discord during the alpha, and so like people like she was there for the outage, and she's like, oh, I need to go get like one of the devs on this, and so she sends out an SOS, and then this absolute unit Igor wakes up, fixes the problem in like a half hour to an hour, and then goes back to bed. I'm like, this is great. Like what kind of company wakes up some guy, especially a small company like yourself, right? That's not this big AAA that has around the clock like dev access. Just like, all right, yeah, cool. The server's fixed. Igor's our hero. We had like a hurrah for Igor in the Discord in the chat. We're like, yeah, this is our guy, right? Which is another cool thing too, is you get to learn the company by name. Like when I know probably 10 to 15 Fateless members that probably are more behind the scenes people, just because you guys are so transparent, right? So how does that feel? Obviously you're not transparent, you're one of the faces of the community, but how do you think they feel about it? Like do they comment on like, oh yeah, people like someone messaged you, or probably it's like you're a hero? It's like, how does he feel about being transparent? How does the team feel, I guess?
I know it's probably a little bit of both. There's definitely going to be things that the devs behind the scenes, the ones that their faces are never shown, are like, oh my god, please don't say that, don't promise that, or don't say that, or oh god, like I know there's been some moments. I'm not going to give any examples that give us a giggle behind the scenes, but there's also a lot more staff getting involved than I expected. Like Aaron, the narrator, is like he's amazing. We love Aaron so much. He's so freaking cool with how interactive he is and how much you can tell he cares what you guys think. He really does. And even like Steven, one of our VFX artists, he's been commenting. He posted in the art competitions. He's been getting involved. And Corey was in the alpha chat quite a lot, our head of product. Like, more people are getting involved than I think we expected, and I could tell they appreciate it. I just think a lot of people are the artists behind the scenes, so they are going to be quiet. Or hell, the devs are just too busy because they're literally working on the game all day, and when they're done for the day, they probably don't want to see our Discord either. But it's a pretty good balance, I think. I really do. I think they appreciate it, and they're always shocked. Like, Corey has had a product handled all of the surveys, and he would always just be like, this is insane. Like, our response rates to surveys were stuff that he would spend hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of advertising to have happen. But the percentages of how many open them or respond Like, this is stuff that he's all been shocked by, and he's worked for Scopely and Netflix and big companies, so it's nice to hear that kind of feedback from people with such big resumes, that they're impressed with our community and a lot of the aspects of that.
Yeah, so I mean, you guys are doing a very different when you start a gaming company, usually it's you make the product and then you make the community and then everything works out, right? But with you guys, you have the Hell Hades community, right? And that's really what
Mhm.
sprang towards you off. So you guys are treading, this is uncharted waters, right? You hear that a lot from Dan,
Yeah.
right? Dan's like, we don't like we have a plan, but like, there's not really a lot of precedent to it, right? And it seems like it's paying off, right? So what's your insights on that, is like kind of building a game from a community rather than building a community from a game?
I think there's 100% we wouldn't be where we are without the Hell Hades community. There's legit investors that are because of that. They're like in the community, just in general, getting people into the Discord, watching the YouTube videos. People are curious, like, what was Hell Hades up to? What is this game that Hell Hades is making? And the fact that there is something special about Simon. Even though he's like, I'm just a normal guy, I was a salesman, I was whatever, like, I'm just a normal dude, played some games. Like, he has something about him that we just like him. We're drawn to him, we like him. Like, I remember the first time he joined, or he was gonna start on Twitch. I joined Twitch because of Simon, not any other content creators, because of Simon. And when I heard about this game, sure, I wanted another raid competitor because I had quit. But I cared more because of how much I cared and respected for Simon. Like, it was just, I think his community loves him, and they're here because of that. And the HH Gaming crew as a whole, like the website, the optimizer, how valuable those resources are. The ranting on YouTube, even from people like, Paul, HH Gaming stuff, how much we complained about certain things in other games. That's people that are going to have faith in the company before there's even a physical product out there, because they trust their opinions. They trust, like, if you know you hate all these things, you're going to make sure you don't do that, right? Like, that's kind of, I think, the hope. And I think it makes there be a little bit more faith in the company, a little bit more trust, because they already know the people behind it, versus some random company. Hell, big companies like Netmarble or whoever. Who are the devs? Are they trustworthy? We don't know. We don't know these people. But Simon, Paul, Dan. Like, because we know these people, it just builds a stronger community that's going to be more loyal in the long run. And it's definitely something special.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy because like my favorite, I love Hell Hades, right? But I love watching the Paul video, Saf, right? The lead
Yeah.
game designer. And so it's like, it's crazy to look at the lineup and be like, I know these people, right? Like I knew you beforehand too. I was like, oh yeah, I've seen you, as a content creator, like a little bit. And then, I've watched a lot of Paul's videos, and I've watched a lot of Simon videos, obviously. And so it's like, wow, these are people that, like we have, a co-founder of the company, we have the community manager, we have the lead game developer, or the lead game designer rather, right? And it's just like, wow, these are people I know and trust. Like, I value all of your opinions a lot. And when you guys, it's awesome. And then I got to meet Aaron. Wow, it's like Aaron is a master of the craft. Just listen to him speak, I'm like, this guy understands writing. I was like, more than I ever could. Like, just listen to him, was like, wow. And so yeah, you have like very competent people that are very personable and known in the community. And it's just like, this game's gonna be good. And if it's not, what I'm basically saying is, yeah, it's good to have faith, right? And I have faith, right? I'm one of the big guys, like, yeah, this game's gonna be awesome. I made a YouTube channel. I was never gonna be a content creator, but I was like, yeah, this game is too cool, and it's so in depth. There's so much depth to this game that I'm like, people are gonna need help navigating this. There's kind of a, so yeah, of course, right? I'll work tirelessly for these months just to learn how to make YouTube videos, so when the game comes out, I can be part of the community, right? So
Yeah, it's been fun so far. I like to see all the new creators, because I think it's a perfect time to get started and kind of figure things out. So when the boom really comes, you're more ready. Like, normally I would say, don't cover a game that's not even out yet. Like, to some people, I'd be like, honestly, that might be bad advice. But because we have a unique community with so many people that are, yeah, like you said, you have people following you, and it's a small amount of followers, but it's more quality over quantity right now. And having a high percentage of your people actually coming back to your videos consistently is YouTube will see that and push you out to more people versus just growing with random games or playing raid even though you don't want to cover it. Or like people are doing that, playing other games that they don't even want to play just to get by.
Yeah.
But sticking with less coverage for now, I think it's probably smarter. Just keep your core audience focused, and you won't have to worry about losing subscribers later, and you'll only go up, not backward.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy too because we talk about community, right? Is like, I care about my YouTube channel's growth, right? But my big thing too is I want to serve the community, right? Is like when you have, I think when you have, when you're community focused, there is I don't want to say a burden on the community, but there's an expectation that community kind of rises to it, right? If you guys are transparent, then the community needs to be a higher quality, which I think we are. I think the Godforge community is awesome. So much so that most of my videos have like 50 views, whatever. But every time I release a video, I have the comments in the video, but I usually get DMs from people on Discord that want to chat more about the topic. So they're like, "Oh, you said
That's
this."
nice.
It's like, "Oh, you said this." Like, what do you mean by that? Or like, can you tell me more? And so it's not just like, "Oh, hey, I just placed a video. It's 50 views. Who cares?" Right? One of many videos on the sea of YouTube. Like, no, there is a community that watches the content and then they're engaged with it in more ways than just YouTube, right? So I think, if you're part of the community, and there's a lot of lovely creators out there. Like I watch every video right now so I have time to, because they're slower in. So there's people in the community that just watch your video because you made a Godforge video. Like, all right, cool, let's do it.
Yeah.
So with that being said, I have another question for you, right? How do you prepare the mod team to answer the same question asked in the Discord over and over again? There are two big questions, right? There's when's Godforge coming out, and where are the coins, right? And I know the answer to both of those, right? So I see them like, oh man, poor mod team has to answer this again. Sometimes I chime in if I as a community member, I'm like, yeah, I know the answer. I can say this, but how do you, I'm sure there is mod team training that happens. So how do you like kind of prepare them, like, hey guys, you're going to get these questions over and over again?
I think the reality is right now, well, especially while things are quiet, we don't mind the same question 100 times. It's engagement. It's getting new people involved in talking, which that might be the reason they keep talking, so they get a quick reply versus finding a channel with a FAQ and be like, okay, there's my answer, bye, and never saying anything. Makes people connect a little bit. But I think for the mods, we have a mods replies channel where we copy and pasted a bunch of replies during alpha so they knew what to say. That's one thing that helped for sure. Especially as there was issues and we knew how to troubleshoot certain things. And then the other thing is just keeping up like a couple pins of the key things. Like I just updated the coins pin in the general chat recently. So I'm like, okay, guys, it's updated. Feel free to reference that again. It's more just like having up-to-date pins and making sure that making sure they know the answers to questions is really all it is. It's like, okay, that one pin that Simon did with the breakdown of the stages, yep, that's updated for now. That's all we got. Or check out that announcement where we said the term of early access being like what we use and why. You feel free to reference that as well. And then you have coins. I updated the pin, so send them to the pin if you need to. But I think once we get back to gameplay again, we'll re-update the whole mod replies channel so they have plenty of things to like have as a reference tool. But for now, it's pretty simple, just a couple pins and keeping it simple for now.
Yeah, it definitely makes sense, right? And it's cool that you said, I like, for me, I don't only viewed it as a burden, like, oh man, we have to talk to this guy about it. But it's cool that, and it shows your mindset where it's like, oh, this is an opportunity for more engagement, right? We have the time, we have the manpower, it's a pretty quiet time. Like, let's go ahead and try to get them into the community, right? And you can see the mods being personable with people, right? They're not just, the same question. It gets asked like 3 or 4 times a day minimum, if not more, right? But yeah, it's even cool to talk about the community too. Is Dan, one of the co-founders, he had a live stream of him packaging the coins
Literally,
and showing,
yeah, that was great.
So like it's really cool. The community knows exactly and those coins are a big deal, right? Everyone's like, we got to get those coins. They are very nice,
Yeah.
and they're probably months behind of what was expected, right? But it's cool that transparency of like, hey, yeah, we had to print more because we didn't want those 53 people to feel left out, which was perfectly valid. And so when I hear every step of the process, I'm like, oh yeah, that makes perfect sense, right? There were more coins needed to be
Yeah.
printed, and then they weren't packed, and then you guys are busy, so the founder had to start packing them. And then
Literally, I think Dan and I think his mom stepped in to help. Like, this was like quite literally like Dan and his mom packing up. Like, how many founders are packing up 1,000 boxes of coins? Like,
yeah.
That's hilarious in its own. But also, I know some of the boxes were damaged, so they had to get some more boxes in. They didn't the coins didn't fit properly. They didn't want them wiggling around to where they send them out and they get damaged. So, and then I think Dan didn't want to get arthritis writing down 100 or 1,000 addresses. He's like, oh, maybe we need a label maker.
Did he actually intend to write down the address of all 1,000 people?
I don't know, or if it just, I don't know if he just didn't order it right away, or if the label maker for printing mailing labels came in late. But yeah, well, that's what we were waiting on last, was the label maker. It probably just came in late for whatever he ordered. But it's pretty funny because imagine oh wait, we probably need that. It might have been an afterthought of, oh crap.
Well, yeah, I mean like he was packing the coins, he probably went to Barcelona and was like, oh wait, we need to ship these now. Right? And then part of the process.
I think he was still finishing it before he went. When he went to Barcelona, they weren't finished yet, yeah. So it was kind of like he knew he wouldn't have enough time to finish it, and then yeah. But it's still really cool, and it's one of those things that it is all out of pocket as well. And now we realize we also might need to get email addresses or phone numbers for the sake of tracking. I think he is going to do tracking, so that might be a little bit of a check in with people, but at least you'll know they're coming.
Yeah, what's really nice about this, about the community first company too, is like, you get to you kind of get excuse for these oopsies, right? You're like, oh, we don't have your.
It's our first time. We're learning along with everybody.
Yeah, when I hear stuff like, oh, we might need to re-get emails or confirm emails because people may have signed up with an alpha with an email they don't use. Or,
that happened a lot.
Yeah. So that's fun. So I have another question here for you, right? So I don't know how much you know, but I'm interested. How is it, as a fan of these games, having information about a game that you're not able to share, right? Like, I'm sure you know things about Godforge, and I'm not asking for leaks or nothing. I just want to know, how does it feel being like, oh man, if I told them this, we would get so much engagement, but I'm not allowed to, right?
It's hard because I feel like you see it in Simon's excitement in his videos too. He just can't wait to share, and he's like a little kid in a candy shop. I totally feel that. Like in one of our meetings, they played something related to one of the intros in the early part of the game. Like, okay, we did this new cool thing, guys. Let me share it with you. And they played 1 freaking second of it. And I was like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. I was typing, oh my god, I love it. I saw 1 second. And they didn't even play it yet. They accidentally clicked for 1 second. And I was like, I want to show everybody. I go crazy myself. I just want to show everybody. But it's so fun. It's definitely when I know something really cool is coming, not trying to be fake and just get hype up for something. I'll be like, oh my god, guys, I can't wait for today's video. It's so cool. It's so cool. I will say things in the general chat where this is going to be a fun one. When I know something fun is coming. And yeah, it's genuine. That's the good part, is because of being a player and because of being a fan of the genre and genuinely loving everything I've seen so far, the more I see, the more I have confidence, the more I love Godforge, the more I am being shocked by some of the visuals and graphics that people used to complain about. They are not bad in any way, anywhere. I swear. Oh, it's just so good. It's so amazing. And I think having the real excitement makes it easier. I don't have to be fake and try to get engagement. I just share my excitement with you guys. And I think that's the best I can continue to do, as well as to be that player right along with you that's excited for every leak myself.
Yeah, I think it really helps too that the game is quality, right? And so, I'm not a big visual guy, right? I don't care. I'll play with blocks and I don't care. But but that's a big selling point. It's people, someone's like, I want the visuals to look good. Our audience cares about the visuals. But it's also cool they don't just stop at that as well. You guys hired a narrative director, and if you guys don't know the leaked lore about Godforge, kind of like the background, you guys need to catch up on that because it is really, really good. Just the way it's presented and stuff, and what little we know about the story, like what the story is going to be, but we know a lot about the background, and so check that out. And the game design as well. I was going back and looking at some of the alpha champions, and there are characters that I really slept on, like Asag, right? Was one I made a video on recently, or he was an example I had, and his kit is so in depth, and I was like, man, I missed that. There were so many of these champions I wish I would have played during the alpha, because obviously during wave 3 I was competing, right? But like wave 2, I really wish I would have spent some time with these like rarer champions, like, well, not rarer, rare quality champions, because so what I'm saying is the whole game is a great package, plus the music is great as well. And it's just like when you have all of these quality things that care about, if you care about looks, we got looks. You care about depth, we got depth. You care about story, we got story. It's really easy to be excited when the game is just fun and exciting, right?
Yeah.
So
I can't make everybody happy with every decision made, but overall it's been looking better and better and better, as it should, right? Hashtag trust the process, right?
Yeah, I mean, I love Simon talking about this because I've been watching all the podcasts and stuff. And it's so fun to watch somebody be like, yeah, when we first got this model, I wasn't sure if the game was even gonna work, right? Like, was it even possible for us to make a high fidelity game for mobile? And then he talks about, yeah, then I got the final, like, I saw the final lighting and it was awesome, right? And it makes sense if you look at the like Heimdall and Horus looks so good right now.
Yeah, they're so nice.
So, all right, cool. So I think we'll start to wrap up with this last question here, right? And so I kind of talked about it before, but when you have a high quality product, right, and you have a community focused thing, the community kind of needs to step up. That's something that we have been doing, right? And that's keeping the hype alive because we're generally hyped, right? So my question to you is, how can the larger community help Fateless during this like quiet time before early access?
I think if someone asked, I guess, oh gosh, probably more just engagement, like just commenting on the videos. Those views matter. Subscribing to the social medias, hit and follow on the Godforge and the Fateless. Those views, those engagements, all of those matter to us in more of a literal, like, are we caring about making money on our YouTube channel? No, that's not a focus. But does having a certain number of subscribers appeal to possible future investors to help give us bigger chunks of money in the future? That's certainly a possibility, right? Like, the idea of investments and like keeping a positive, I guess, I don't even know how to put it. That's the best way to put that. I don't know, like having a good appeal to people to have faith in the game that maybe don't know the game like the players do, or maybe don't know Simon and Sham and Dan like the players do that are still here. Those new potential people getting eyes on the game, whether it be just a player or an investor or another company that wants to work with us in some aspect, seeing those like direct things like, oh my god, they have 100,000 subscribers on YouTube already and the game's not even out. That means something. And so the little acts of just watching a video, coming into Discord, engaging with us, like that all actually can mean a lot in the long run as far as helping on a money fronts, including the marketing and such.
Yeah, and so the YouTube has been hovering around 100,000 subscribers, right?
It gets silly sometimes.
Yeah, and so it's like if we could push for 100,000, I know that there is some fun leaks in the making, right? If we get there, so
there is one.
So definitely push for that. If you're not subscribed to the Fateless main channel, like go subscribe. If you're watching my channel and you're not subscribed to Fateless, like go do that. Like that's silly.
That's very true.
Yeah.
And Godforge. Don't forget about our Godforge socials. So that's one big thing is now we're kind of in that phase of the game is getting closer. Things like the mini game are going to come out and it's going to be important and impactful to the real game. And the real game is going to come out in early access rather than later. I mean, it's already December here. And following the Godforge socials, you're going to notice a big boost in types of posts and maybe some separations. Like we're going to be posting more. Fateless is going to be more about the studio and the people behind the game and the behind the scenes, where Godforge is more going to become the game, the community, the players, the like events going on. It's going to be a little bit more like, fleshing out. I think you'll see if you start looking at the posts. So following both, keeping an eye on what we got to tease. And yeah, I really can't wait to show so many more things. We always have our big monthly meetings that'll be up soon, and I'm waiting to see what Simon's gonna reveal next. There's so much that can be shared. And yeah, I guess I'm just excited too, and I want to share it all, but we can't.
Yeah, speaking of the meeting, so during this meeting, how much of the meeting is like, oh, the community said this versus a regular business meeting, right? Do you guys talk about like, oh yeah, this community member in the suggestion, like Father Time suggested this, and we have to do this, right?
Well, so far our meetings are more like we have a weekly meeting that starts off where we just kind of go through what we're doing. It's not really like that, but I have a community meeting. So like Simon is my boss, and me and Rachel are like under him pretty much now.
Okay.
Things might change a little bit. I think Dan's actually going to be more involved again, but it's changed a little bit over the past couple months. And so we talk about those things with our community, like with our teams, more like what do we need to action is our kind of our meeting itself. But then beyond a meeting itself, sharing a direct post. Yeah, like you said, Father Time said this, someone said this. We share those every day whenever something pops up like that in our Discord. And that's in a channel that the entire staff can see. So if something really does stick out to us, whether it's someone requesting something from merch, I'll throw that into the merch channel. Or someone says a really cool game idea related to a name of something. Oh, maybe the name, like I throw that into the feedback channel. So I think it's actually less meetings where we actually talk about individual stuff, but more on a regular basis, just pushing forward the good ideas to the appropriate places so the teams can see them.
Yeah, I mean, you can even see that too with the merch store, right? Is Father Time converted his hoodie to a zipper hoodie, and Father Time's a big Discord member. Big shout out to him. I love chatting with him in the Discord.
And then we put out
and then you put out the zipper hoodie. I was like, I wonder how much of that was seeing how well the zipper hoodie came out for Father Time.
We've been asking for that one for a while. The person was reluctant to do zipper hoodies, but I was like, come on, everyone's asking for it. Like, my husband wanted it, Joya wanted it, Father Time wanted it. I think Chicken Lady was like, yes, I can't wait to buy all of these. It was super fun to see, like, I'm like, directly, those people are buying it. I already have one in my cart ready to buy Odd One for Christmas, so.
Oh, Odd One, don't watch this video, right? By the way.
He never watches videos. He's one of those that's hard to keep not interested, but like you said, keeping the hype alive.
Yeah.
It's hard when he can't play. He's one of those that struggles. So he watches the videos, the basic videos, but he's not like mentally all in until he can play.
Yeah, so it's safe to talk about Christmas presents here. For sure.
Yes.
Yeah, I think, it really shows that, engagement matters, right? Even if it's just small stuff, comment on the video, not for the algorithm, not for the usual reasons, but really just to let people listen to you, right? People listen to the community, and as a content creator, it's tough doing something that you're not aware of how the community is reacting to it, right? And so just giving that positive feedback, giving them the motivation, right? Giving them the, hey, great video, right? Even something as simple as that is enough to be like, oh yeah, we had like 30 people say it was a great video. Like, that's awesome. It must be a good video. So
yeah, exactly.
I think that's it for my questions. Is there anything else you just want to add while you have this time?
I guess I think we kind of covered the basis of what I would say are like the core, I guess, issues or excitements right now. And we're just really grateful that we have the community. I think that's like the only thing we could always say. If we just had Thanksgiving, we're super grateful to have the community involved and as interested and passionate as they are. And the project would look so different if that wasn't the case. I don't even know what it would be. And I'm glad we don't have to know because our community is so wonderful. And yeah, I hope everyone just has patience. The coins are coming when we get some labels printed out. The early access is coming in early 2026, and no, we do not have a date yet, but we will. But as soon as we know, they're going to share it as soon as they can, as soon as they feel confident. But
I mean, we know
I
Simon.
think it's on a good direction.
I was going to say, we know Simon. Simon's going to share anything the moment it's out of the oven, right? Like, the cookies are baking. When they're done, all right, everyone's getting a cookie, right? That's just the kind of person Simon is. So
Definitely.
well, Suzi, thank you very much for coming onto the channel today. I really appreciate it. So I think with that, guys, remember to like and subscribe and comment on this video. Make sure you go to the Fateless channel, and there's a video coming out. I don't know if it's gonna be tomorrow when this is out, but Tuesday, right? The new Fateless video always comes out, so make sure you guys watch that and comment there. And I think with that, I think we're good to wrap up. So I'll see you guys in the next video.